Welcome to Fitzdog Radio. It's Thanksgiving week. You may be in transit. Maybe you're listening to this podcast on a 747. There's a woman. She's angry. She's in aisle 13, and she's screaming about not wanting to wear her mask. What do you do? What do? You get up, tackle the bitch. Take her down. Why are these issues? I don't care how big anybody is. If they're being an asshole on a plane, I would relish the opportunity to tackle them and hold them down and enjoy the coming together of all the other passengers to fucking trounce this lunatic. I mean, especially if they hit a flight attendant. Look, we all want to hit the flight attendant, but we don't. You just don't do it. So enjoy tackling. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, nobody's going to prosecute you for punching a rowdy passenger at this point. There is very few Karens out there as Karen-y as the one at 10,000 feet. We would celebrate the beating of this person and the videotapes that would come out. Everybody would videotape it and put it out. You'd be a fucking hero. That's all I want. I want the opportunity to be a vigilante, like all of us. Not like Kyle Rittenhouse, because he created the problem that he then solved. I want to be the guy that actually rescues somebody. Isn't that the human condition? Is like the highest good is the person that rescues somebody else? Yeah. We rescue dogs. We don't rescue the dog. We go down to some fucking rich lady's house, and she has a bunch of strays in the garage, and we grab one, and we only do it because it's free. It's because you don't want to spend the $800 getting a purebred. So you go, I'm gonna be magnanimous. I'm gonna rescue. You're not scaling a building. You're not rescuing. You're not fucking You're not putting a fucking rag with hydrochloric acid on it on a guy who's guarding the door, and then getting the dog out. You're just traipsing in, picking up the dog. He's already got his shots. If you want to rescue somebody, rescue a person. How about that? Instead of a homeless dog, go to where there's all those tents in your town. Knock on the tent door. You got to knock loud because it's nylon. And when they come out, go, hey, you want a hot shower and a steak? You want to live in our fucking living room? We'll get you a little corduroy bed you can lay in. They would be all over that shit. That's noble. That's a rescue. Shit. We got no Thanksgiving. We don't have our usual thing. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year because my mom always comes out and we play a big soccer game in the morning with like 60 people. I've talked about this. I don't want to beat it to death. You guys know the drill. We dive in the ocean after dinner, and then we go to our friend's house for a big party. But my mom's not coming out. Tom O'Neill's not going to be there because he's flying to Mexico to get his teeth fixed. The Dunskys are in Vermont, our neighbors that usually host the party. So it's going to be a little quiet, a little different this year. Not as excited about it. But you know, my son's home. He came home from college 2 nights ago. I was happy to see him. And he's helpful around the house, unlike his sister, who does nothing. He already went grocery shopping. He filled up the car with gas, did some dishes. Maybe it'll rub off on his sister. She's a good kid. I played golf with her and her boyfriend on Sunday. That was fun. And Owen. And her boyfriend's brother. We played a fivesome. And we had a blast. Got some In-N-Out burgers afterwards. What else is going on? Oh, by the way, I got some new dates. Just announcing right now for you that on New Year's Eve, I will be in New Brunswick, New Jersey at the Stress Factory. So if you want to come out on New Year's Eve, I think there's probably 2 shows. I'm not sure. And then the night before that, so December 30th and January 1st, I will be in Bridgeport, Connecticut at the other Stress Factory. They've got me going back and forth. I have no idea why. Vinny Brand is trying to make my life miserable, but that's what he's got me doing. So if you want tickets, go to Fitzdog.com, pick them up. I may, in fact, be doing a show at the West Palm Beach Improv. We're figuring it out right now, but that would be Christmas week, and I'll let you know about that. Also, dates coming up at Boston, Portland, where else? Lexington. Go to Fitzdog.com. Get all your tickets. And also, don't forget the premium membership, which is something that you can listen to, like, almost 900 back episodes at this point. I think it might be over 900. You can get that for, like, it's pennies. It's fucking pennies. I think it's like $19 for the year or something. What is that? $2 a month? $2.50 a month? Something like that. Just do it. Support the show. Get the premium membership. It comes with an app, and you can listen on anything. Old episodes with, oh God, Louis C.K., Zach Galifianakis, Sarah Silverman, Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, Carl Reiner, all kinds of people. Jimmy Kimmel. Great comedians from over the years. And also, get yourself a mug. The Sunday Papers mugs are available on the website as well. Also, this year, Turkey Day at MyBookie gives you plenty of reasons to be thankful, starting with a $250 risk-free bet on Thursday afternoon when the Dallas Cowboys host the Las Vegas Raiders. I know who I like in that game. Bet the spread between the Raiders and the Cowboys at MyBookie. When you win, you win. And if you don't, MyBookie will refund you up to $250. So, simply put, you can't lose this bet. And that's what I call no risk, all gravy. Before you get your wager in, set yourself up for success by doubling your first deposit when using promo code, I think it's going to be Fitzdog, promo code Fitzdog, Fitzdog, at MyBookie. That's promo code Fitzdog to double your initial deposit all the way up to $1,000, so you won't need to break the wishbone to be the one to come out ahead. Feast risk-free on Turkey Day with MyBookie, and make sure to stick around for seconds as they gear up for what should be a fun Black Friday with tons of odds boosts that will have your belly and your pockets full. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie. Okay. My guest today was on, I think he was on a little over a year ago, but he's one of those guys I want to have on regularly because he's so good. He's an old friend. He's a great comic. You know him from, he was the co-host of Top Gear for like 6 seasons. He was on Rescue Me for many seasons as he was like I think he was the chief. He was on Nurse Jackie. He was in Paul Blart Mall Cop. He's done it all. He's very funny, very cool dude. We shot pool the other day, and then we taped the podcast the next day. So here he is. And I'm sorry there's no video, but we did it in person, and I've yet to set up video cameras, which I got to get my shit together. 2022, I'm going to get my shit together with the video. I promise. All right. Here we go. Adam Ferrara. My guest is here now, Adam Ferrara. I mean, right. Jesus Christ, the guy walks in and he's just dragging ass because he did morning radio at 5 a.m. And then all of a sudden, once we get to shit talking, he comes to life.
There we go.
Adam Ferrara, welcome to Fitzdog Radio.
I don't want to disappoint on Fitzdog Radio.
No.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
This is your second or third time on?
Second time.
Okay.
Actually, third time. The first time was Comics Come Home in Boston. We were backstage, and you had the recorder, and we did one there. And then the next time was here.
Yeah.
At Fitzdog Central. Studios, yes. And now it's this time.
Comics Come Home. Let's talk about that. That's always fun. If you're from Boston, you know very well what it is because it's like an institution. Mm-hmm. They do it at the hockey arena. They used to do it at the hockey arena at
We
Boston
used to do it
University.
at the Orpheum.
Oh, okay.
The Orpheum Theater. That was great. And then it moved over to the Aganis Arena. And it took on a whole new flavor. I think we did ours at the Agganis Arena, but when I first started doing it, it was at
Wait, what's the Agganis Arena?
The big arena.
The hockey, the one the Bruins use?
Aren't you from Boston?
Yeah, but when I did it, it wasn't called the Agganis Arena. No, they just played at the.
I think it was I think it's the Agganis. Now we got to Google.
I'm going to Google it up. But the event is produced by Dennis Leary, and they raise money for, I'm guessing, firemen.
No, it's the Cam Neely Foundation.
Oh, it's the Cam Neely Foundation, which is for cancer research.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cam Neely was a great defenseman for the Bruins for many years. Yeah,
nice, sweet man.
Sweetest fucking guy in the world.
Can kill you with his thumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Dennis puts this thing together, and the lineups over the years have been staggering. You know, Bill Burr would come out, Patrice O'Neill. I mean, he did it a few. I did it with him. I've done it a few times.
Yeah, I did a couple of times with him.
Lenny Clark
Lenny's a staple.
Steve Sweeney always does it.
I did once with Jimmy. I did it once with who was it? I did it once with you, I think.
Yeah. I did it with you.
And it's always a lot of fun. And I remember once when Boston won the World Series trophy was there, and a bunch of the Aerosmith guys showed up. It's with Leary, there's always some kind of surprise,
right?
Or something, and it's just a lot of fun.
There's some controversy one year about Dane Cook or something?
I don't know. Why? I know he did it once. Was there a controversy? What was the controversy?
There was a controversy about that they were going to live stream it, and he didn't want them to live stream it, and they all got upset. And I was just like, look, some people are working on their new hour, and they don't want it out yet. It's not for public consumption yet. And if you do shows leading up to recording your hour, you don't want them put out.
Agreed. But let's look at it this way. If that's what the event calls for, I was just on a panel, and I'd make this talk to a bunch of coms. They go, you're a golfer, okay? Look at the hole you're at. You're not going to use the driver on every place on the golf course. If you're doing a corporate gig, put on a suit. Don't say fuck. Get hired back.
Right.
You know, if you want to be an artist, go rent the loft and be misunderstood.
Yeah.
You got to eat.
Right.
You know, so look at what the gig is.
Yeah.
You know, so if I'm faced with that, you're going to live stream it? Fine. I'm not going to do the new stuff. I'll do this. I'll do this different.
That's true.
You know, we're lucky because we get to do this for a living.
Yeah.
And you get one of the dangers is, you know, you think your shit don't stink, and there's another guy right behind you that'll do it cheaper and quicker, you know?
Yeah, it's a very, you and I talked yesterday. We shot pool yesterday for a couple hours, and
we're both rusty.
We both are shot makers, but if you're not playing a lot, you're not setting up your next shot very well.
It's like living check to check.
Yes, exactly. It's like one night stands instead of a marriage.
Yeah.
And when you're playing well, you're in a fucking...
Oh, yeah.
You're in a sofa with a worn-out cushion, holding hands. You know?
Netflix and chilling, yeah.
Got fucking Ben and Jerry sitting
Have you ever
there.
been in Deadstroke?
What's that?
Deadstroke is when you literally can't miss.
Yeah.
I was playing with Rogan a lot.
Yeah.
This was years ago. I think I was telling you at the Athletic Club. And I got in Deadstroke, and that's just a great place to be.
Yeah, the Deadstroke.
It's like you're not thinking, you just, boom, it's great.
Yep. Yeah, and, but anyway, so we were talking yesterday about the kind of, the balancing act of being a comedian. By definition, you are walking on stage every night and saying, I am the center of attention. I'm funnier than everybody else. You all have to shut up. And at the same time, like you said, don't get an ego or else that puts a stink on you. Comics with big egos are despised by other comics.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, Pally, well, they should be. Because my theory of our craft and our art that we are lucky enough to be able to do and feed our families on is the best shit for me. It doesn't come from me; it comes through me. So how do you claim it?
Yeah,
I'm just lucky I can tune in that frequency.
Yeah,
and when you're doing it right, like being in Deadstroke, you're not even thinking about
Deadstroke comedy.
The best. that's the next album.
I haven't been in Deadstroke comedy in a little bit. It comes in waves.
It comes in waves, but like I need Here's what I always give myself a break on Thursday night, because you usually get into a club. I'd rather play a Thursday than a Sunday if we got to do it 3 nights.
Of course.
So I do the Thursday. And even though if I think I'm rusty, here's my signal. I'll look in the back, and if I get the staff lined up in the back, I'm okay.
Right.
They see it every week.
There's no better feeling.
Better feel like that. And then if you do it right, 9 times out of 10, my parents came to see you Saturday because they told them.
Right.
Where are they? Let's get a picture. You know, that's the best compliment you can get. When you can make the staff stop and listen.
Yeah. I was at the store the other night, and fucking Burr was on, and the whole back row was filled with comics.
Sure.
And the booker and whoever. And then he finished, and I got up on stage, and I looked in the back row. It was fucking empty. It was the worst feeling. It was like the floor being pulled out from under me. And I just did my show, but I was a shell of a comedian. I was the guy with no back row. Yeah, but you beat yourself up to it. We did an alleyway. What was that outdoor gig we just did a week ago on Melrose? Oh yeah. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It was just a big fucking tent with folding chairs, but it was very professionally set up.
Oh,
what's her name? Who does it?
I'm blanking.
Blanking. She's great. She's
very
from the
sweet.
Store.
Knows how to put a show together.
No, really does a pro show. It was me, you, and Caroline Ray, and then you guys. I was on stage, and you guys were talking.
Yeah.
And I told you guys to shut up, and then you both came out and heckled me while I was on stage.
Yes. Yeah, we were your back row.
Yeah, right.
But gigs like that, you know, I enjoy doing stuff out of the box like that, and I enjoy, like Soul Joel's. You've done that, right, in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Outdoor gig, right by the railroad tracks. A guy put up a big tent.
Yeah.
And look, Italians don't like going down by the railroad tracks because we don't think we're coming back. But
that sounds like an old country song.
Yeah, but I did it in the winter.
Yeah.
So I mean, my nose is running. People bring their own chairs. They bring their own booze, and they're sitting there, and they're all huddled up. And I was like, I got so much pleasure out of getting my note. I'm just wiping myself. It's outdoors. Car alarms are going off. You got to deal with that. But there was the energy of getting through it together and making it just that stuff. I love that shit. Yeah,
we did a show. Me and Artie Lang did a show. And it was booked. It was just a Saturday night in West Palm Beach at a place called the Polo Grounds.
Right.
And so, what do we know? They offer us a ton of money. We're like, great, we'll do it.
Sure.
So we go down, and then they tell Artie the day before, Artie realizes they've added a second show because we sold out the first show.
Right.
And Artie at this point is not in great form, and he was not capable, and he knew he was not capable of doing a second show.
Sure.
So he said, I'm not doing a second show. So these guys, and we didn't know the promoters, turns out they're super fucking shady dudes.
You think?
So they just told the late show to come to the early show, and it's a polo field, so they just figured it's under a tent.
Right. They'll
just spill out on the polo field. What they didn't count on was torrential rains, so bad that the fucking car. I'm wondering if I just told this story. The cars were spinning out in mud in the polo ground, and so all these people were they were so angry.
Yeah,
and they were drenched, and they were standing outside, and it was fucking brutal.
Yeah. Don't take the brown acid.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you get. Promoters, especially the shady ones. Remember, I mean, when I was a kid, you would do these little one-nighters in Jersey.
Yeah.
They bring you in the back room, and they always do the dance in the office when they pay you. The hand goes in, the hand goes out. He goes, hey, you're funny, but, we didn't get a lot of people. There's a hand and out. You don't come out with any cash.
Yeah.
They used to, I remember, I didn't know what this meant, but they looked at me once and went, you want white or green?
Coke or
cash, yeah.
I love it.
I said, yeah, I'll take the green. I'm fine. I'll be all right.
I don't want your stepped on Italian coke, suburban cocaine.
I'm not snorting your baby powder.
Yeah, right.
That's your pet now. I'm getting out of here.
I love it. White or green.
Yeah.
What's the worst corporate date you ever did?
Oh, I did. I played the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami because
the famous Fontainebleau Hotel.
That's why.
Wow.
The Beatles. The second appearance of the Beatles was at the Fontainebleau, and Jackie Gleason had when he went down to Florida. to do his show because he wanted to play golf. You just got off the golf course. That's why he did the show in Florida.
Yeah.
He wanted to play golf year round.
That's right.
And in his book, if I'm remembering correctly, they changed the law so he could get divorced. I think his first wife was named, she was devout Catholic. I'm going to say her name was Genevieve. I think I'm right. I could be wrong. He wouldn't give him a divorce because he's Catholic. No, doesn't want to go to hell. All right. So he moves down to Florida to do the show. And, that's bringing money in there. The Gleason train's coming in. There's cash that follows. So the mayor, the governor, someone came up to him and goes, Jack, what can we do for you? I tell you what, pal, here's what I would like. And I think they passed a law that if you're not living with your wife for 6 months, you can legally get a divorce without their consent. Something like that to get him out of this. And then he married June Taylor, the June Taylor Dances. He was really into UFOs too.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a round house up in upstate New York. He was into UFOs and all kinds of shit. When
he played golf, the writers would write all morning, and then they started to learn after a while that if he had played badly, he'd play 2 rounds of golf a day. So he'd play 18, and then he'd come in, and if he was playing badly, they would pitch him great fucking material, sketches they'd worked on all morning. No, this is shit. This is garbage. So they started bribing the caddy master because he would find out from the caddy how he had played.
Right.
And if he played badly, they would pitch him shit that they knew he wasn't going to like. They were just burning it.
Right.
And then if he was playing well, then they'd pitch him the good stuff.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to play because of the history of the Fontainebleau. I wanted to play Fontainebleau. So I got a gig that happened to be there, and it was for cancer doctors.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go down there, and it's an away game. They don't know how to put this, you play an away game, they're like, there's a podium. You can't do comedy behind a podium because I'm animated and you look like Hitler. It just doesn't work.
Right.
So it's also, they're making their speeches. We get a mic, and there's a screen in the back. There's like 2 cells on the mic, and the guy's supposed to bring me up who made a speech, and he mixes my name in with the speech. He's like, we have to be vigilant. As you can see, there is progress being made, but if you can keep your donations coming through the foundations, that would be great. Our comedian's Adam Ferrara, and remember, there is no cure yet. He walks off. Great. The cells are still up.
Right.
The cells are still up behind me.
Yeah.
I walk out to no applause. They don't know what's happening. I grabbed the mic and I took the mic out of the stand and I went, all right, let's review. Benign, malignant. Benign, malignant. Nothing.
Yeah, because it's a room full of Jewish doctors, and you look like Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah. So I died. That was bad. I played the St. Regis Hotel
in New York.
Yeah, for the Democratic senators. It was a fundraiser.
Wow.
It was who was there? It was Clinton was there. Hillary. Leahy.
Was he the sitting president at the time?
No, he wasn't. This is what happened. Remember he was out of office and he was going to do a talk show or something.
Yeah, right.
It was right around that time because I followed the guy that wrote a book about LBJ. A lot of laughs. So I'm gonna
Caro?
I don't know who it was. He wrote a book about LBJ.
Yeah,
he made
Caro.
He was the speech before me.
Okay.
And again, there's no laughs. I walk on, my first 3 lines just go in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, I actually said, this, I would say this is like playing the Senate, but it is.
That's good.
I said, I've been waiting so long for healthcare. Now you're going to make me wait for the laughs? That started getting them. And then I looked down to Clinton. I said, and you want to do a talk show? This is the kind of shit you're going to have to deal with. That broke him up. I go, what's the matter? Will you play golf? Open a library. You're done.
Yeah. That's great.
That got them.
Yeah.
And I tell you, Greg, he shook my hand afterwards. He looked into my eyes. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm like, oh my God.
Everybody says that.
He did this. He takes the hand and he puts the hand on the elbow and he looks right at you.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, you're funny. I work with these guys. They're a bunch of tight asses, but you were funny.
No, people say it's electric when he looks in your eyes and it stays with you for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it stayed with me for days, but I got that one.
Yeah.
And I did the Kennedy Boehner benefit for Hurricane Katrina when it hit. Bush was president. I go down to Washington, and Ted Kennedy's still alive, and he was doing something with the Supreme Court. And there's the dais, and there's my seat, and then Kennedy's sitting here, and then Laura Bush is up talking.
Yeah.
I'm that close, right? And I'm sitting there, and all I could think was, I could smack her in the ass right now. She's that close.
Yeah.
I'd be on every newsreel.
You would be remembered for that for life.
Yeah, for like, this is the thought that goes through my head. So before the dinner, I was sitting there. Ted Kennedy comes in, sits down next to me, says hello, and I'm nervous. When I get nervous, I try to get the laugh to calm myself down. Mm-hmm. So he sits down. He goes, "Hi, I'm Ted." I said, "Hi, I'm Adam. How was work, dear?" And he started laughing. "You're late for dinner," and he started laughing. And he was talking about the Supreme Court. Something he was saying something, and I was in another universe.
Yeah.
And I said something about. I said, "Yeah, well, whatever you guys do, hurry up with something about my father." I said, because my father's really worried about. He's like, "Well, get him on the phone." I said, "You're kidding." I called my father. I said, "Pop, I'm in Washington. Guess who's sitting next to me? Ted Kennedy. He wants to talk to you." As I'm handing the phone to him, I'm thinking, "Oh shit, he hates him."
Oh yeah.
I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
So he's on the phone, and I hear him talking to him. "Pop, thank you so much for letting your son come down and entertain us." "Oh, your other son has a restaurant. Well, if I'm ever up in Long Island, I'll come for some sauce. Gravy. Okay, gravy. We'll call it that."
Wow.
Couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
Could have been nicer. And I was on the phone. He hands me the phone. I go, "Pop, that was really him." He goes, "Yeah, that's cool, kid. Is Greenspan there? Am I going to get my Social Security or what?" And I was like,
"Oh shit."
He was worried about that.
Yeah.
But I took a picture with him. I got it in my apartment. It was, like I said, couldn't be nicer.
Yeah.
And Boehner too, the guy with the tan. There was a co-benefit to help people. Yeah.
Yeah, those nights are really special.
Yeah.
Because it is funny how one night you can be in Green Bay playing the Chuckle Hut for fucking a half-empty room on a Friday night. And it's
on a
cold
Sunday
out.
during football season, and no one's there.
No one's there, and the hotel is mediocre, and the food is terrible. And then the next week, you can be sitting next to fucking Ted Kennedy. Yeah. It's the craziest thing about this. Sometimes I play in these golf tournaments at the best exclusive clubs in L.A., and then that night, I'm out in the valley doing a show for 9 people, making $20.
Yeah, that's it. That's why we can never get too secure and having. I look for the things that bring me pleasure in the moment, like the people lined up in the back.
Right.
And we talked about it last night. We try to enjoy where we are and what we're doing. Because I get wrapped up in the fulfillment in a future event, the when-then bet in my head. Yeah. So I got to guard against that because that's just nothing but disappointment,
What is your when-then when you get caught up in it?
The when-then is like, when I get another series regular gig, then I'll be happy.
Series regular?
Yeah, it's
the
like,
thing?
Well, I'm the wolf that tasted blood, baby.
I like fat fucking weekly checks.
Well, the fat checks are one thing, and that soothes the working man. How are we going to pay for this shit? And I've been, you squirrel the money away. And it doesn't matter. I was on 2 TV shows at the same time, still walking around the house telling my wife, every friggin' light's got to be on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the fullest expression when there's work tomorrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Right.
So we're on the set. Like, I know I'm doing 18 episodes and I'm doing this and I can get into the character. I like movies, but I really like TV because it evolves. When you're
I've never
writing.
been a series regular.
No, but you were in a writer's room.
Writing, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice when you're writing on a show and you can dig in. And it's also just that thing of, we are such loners in our careers. Mm-hmm. It's really nice when you become friends with the camera guy and you find out you live in the same building in Brooklyn and he drives you back from the set every night, and then you flirt with maybe there's a fucking a hairstylist that is cute and she knows you're married and she's married, but there's still a little flirtation, and that's kind of fun, and and then you got the people that you laugh with, and just a sense of like you've got a place, you're doing a job that's respected, and it's nice, and we don't get that when we're going, getting on a plane and going alone to another place. It's just us.
I had to learn how to, I don't know if you experienced this, but to manage the energy, to be down, to realize when the down times are there, be down. Because you're going to get up at 6 in the morning and you're going to spike from 6 to 10 because, we used to do radio, kids.
Yeah.
You would up doing morning press, whether it's TV or radio, whatever it is. Then you go home. You lie to yourself, you're going to work out. You go back to bed.
Yeah, right.
You get up, you work on your jokes. It's showtime. Now your energy spikes. Mm-hmm. Now it's midnight. You're not supposed to eat, but I'm going to eat because this is my afternoon.
Yeah.
So you had to learn how to manage the lonely times on the road. On a set, you're in a sense of community.
Yeah.
You know, there's people
There's a meal
around.
break at 6 and everybody goes together.
Yeah.
And then they come around with a coffee cart. Hey, there's a coffee cart out front, everybody. That's paid for by fucking so-and-so. You know, when you're on a set on a TV show, people send gifts. They send a muffin basket.
Yeah.
And you grab a muffin and you go, thank you. And then there's a ice cream truck because it was a long day. And so the producer's got an ice cream. It's like all these little treats and you're like, I'm being treated so nicely. You're already feeling like I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah,
it's over.
I got to make believe I was a fireman for years.
Yeah.
Then I was a cop for years.
Right.
Then I was driving these cars around. I mean, I've been spoiled.
Yeah.
That that's an experience I would like again. And even when the last thing. Why Women Kill, this CBS thing I was on. I was only recurring, but I was eager to go back to work.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're a day player, it's different. Like I did an NCIS, and it's like, it's going to be 2 takes. I'm only going to get 2 takes, and I'm going to be the first one up.
Yeah.
Because the regulars don't want to be the first one up at 8 o'clock in the morning, so they're going to shoot my coverage. Well, it depends,
Yeah.
But usually, you know the drill.
Did you play a criminal or a cop?
NCIS, I played let's call it a person of interest.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was the guy they thought did it. So you get your arrest scene, you get your interrogation scene, you get your we're sorry scene.
You ever hear John Mulaney's bit about how the interrogations are always the same when the guy they think did it?
No.
Classic bit. Google it if you're listening right now because Mulaney is so fucking good.
Yeah.
He is just
no fat.
solid. There is no fat.
No.
It's tightly written, and he's got this cadence that's like a 1930s radio guy.
Yeah.
It's this silly, old-timey speak, and yet his material is like way edgier now than it was. Apparently, he's out doing a set that he's going to record. And, obviously everybody knows he went through rehab last year.
Sure.
And he went through a divorce. And now he's fucking dating Olivia, is it Munn or Wilde?
Yeah.
Munn, right?
One of them.
And she's pregnant with his baby. So he's had a crazy year.
Okay.
And he's talking about all of it on stage, which is not like him. He's usually the guy that's like, here's a concept, let me play with it.
Yeah.
Now it's like, here's the shit I've been going through this year. And he talks about depression and drugs and alcohol. And so I haven't seen it, but like I've talked to so many people that are just raving about his material right now. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to go. I mean, I've always been a confessional comic. You've always been a confessional comic.
I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I'll do some politics. I'll do some confessional. I'll do some conceptual, silly stuff. But I haven't figured out after 31 years what kind of comedian I am. I really don't know, because I get bored doing one type. Yeah. And so
But
try
that's
other
good.
stuff.
The boredom keeps you working.
But it keeps me from ever being branding. Like Gaffigan was a guy just like us, pounding the pavement in New York, doing the fucking spots, doing some road work, and then all of a sudden he went, I'm going to talk about food.
Yeah.
And he did nothing but food, and he blew up.
Yeah.
Doing big theater.
That's the thing that gets me is because I've been so lucky, Greg. I got to do comedy, then I got to act in comedy acting, then I got sitcom stuff, then I got dramatic stuff, then I did Top Gear, so I got to drive around the world.
Yeah.
So people come to my show, and I'm grateful they come out, but like, we know you from here, we know you from,
right.
9 times out of 10 I'm going to get someone, I didn't know you were a comedian. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen here tonight?
Yeah.
Did you think I was going to do burnouts in the parking lot? It says Comedy Club on the ticket.
Please welcome Adam Ferrara.
Yeah. So I get the branding thing, but I'm not good at it, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have ADD. I go from project to project.
Yeah.
I have 8 windows open on my computer at any given time, and I've never really understood. Like I once said to Jimmy Kimmel, I go, what would it take for a guy like me to end up being a guy like you? And he's like, don't host things like the Porn Awards. I was like, got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Twice.
All
Yes.
right.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that just takes you out of the running for so many things. but it was like one of the greatest experiences of my life, and I don't know that I would do it any differently. You know, I got to go to a porn set and watch an orgy. I got invited to an orgy after party with my wife.
Really?
At the hotel where the AVNs were, and we stood there, and we left before it started because it started getting
AVN
creepy.
is a strain of syphilis? What
It is.
I know,
That's
okay.
right. And, you know, and I met all these porn stars, some of whom were very interesting, deep people.
Right.
Belladonna is a vegan who is a producer now and is a mother. And, you know, it was fascinating. And it's like, that's kind of the path I wanted to take in life, was to do the things that excited me and interested me. And I guess the idea of branding, I just was so foreign to me to think that way.
I never got into the selling of. I put more of the energy into the craft, than the selling,
right?
You know, and I'm not kicking myself now. I'm glad I did what I did, because I always had a strong work ethic, because I got that from my dad. And if, like you said, I can recognize, you know, Mulaney, no fat. Your stuff is always, I can see the craft in it.
Low fat.
It's low fat.
It's not no fat.
It's low fat. It's nice.
2%.
You know what I like about your act? I can have a little before I go to bed and not feel guilty.
Yeah, you don't crash after me.
Nah. But that was my focus. It was more on the art than the commerce.
Right.
And now, you know, I'm like, oh, we could use a little more money.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, I'm very grateful for the car stuff, because I got a nice car audience. I just did SEMA. I don't know if you know what that is. It's Special Equipment Marketing Association in Vegas. It's all the car guys.
Yeah.
For all the manufacturers and builders and stuff. And they hired me to go around and film some stuff and interviews.
Oh, that's cool.
I hosted this thing like the Shark Tank for automotive guys, and I enjoy it. I enjoy being around cars. You know, I enjoy that. So Top Gear helped me with that. And but yeah, it's not focused like, you know, Jay is focused. He's a comic in a car. Corolla, those guys really focused into that stuff.
Right.
You know, I was like, is he a fireman? Is he? He's, wait a minute. I saw him kissing Edie Falco. What is that? You know, he's a cop now.
Yeah.
You know?
I think he was a suspect in something. I don't know what it was.
You're crazy. He's the criminal.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, I'm lucky, though. Look at all the shit we get to do.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We're very lucky, and we're also both 50. I don't know how to say your age, but I'm 50.
Yeah, because you can't Google
55.
it. Yeah. Hi. Welcome.
Yeah.
It was funny. We were shooting pool yesterday, and I had to get a bet in because it was Thursday night and the game was on.
Yeah.
So I had to get a bet in, and you went, St. Louis killed me last week, and I went, you mean the Cardinals? Yeah, okay, because you're as old as I am. You remember the St. Louis Cardinals?
Yeah.
But I knew you were talking about the Cardinals.
And then I gave you directions to my office, and I named the restaurant it's next to. And you were like, that's a bit from, was it George Carlin?
No, it was, you said it used to be this other restaurant. That was an old Rodney Dangerfield bit. Like, you know you're old when you're given directions by landmarks that aren't there anymore.
Yeah. It's no longer that restaurant. Yeah, but it's funny because you get wiser, for sure, as you get older.
Okay, I want to ask you, do you get wiser or you just get tired to worry about the shit you usually worry about?
The latter.
Yeah.
It's the latter. I think you start to, but that entails letting go. You get it. I think you either drive yourself crazy or you learn to let go.
What do you have to let go of? I want to ask you.
I think I have to let go of that I'm not the hot young guy. You know, you and I both
Listen, I saw you at the Porn Awards.
Yeah, I was the hot young guy.
You were my favorite.
That was my name in the cast listing. Yeah? Hot young guy.
Hot young guy. Yeah. You're Asian.
I got to let go of you and I. When you and I were in our 30s, we were getting big fat development deals to star in our own sitcoms.
Yeah.
We were getting invited to every festival, and now it's more of like we're respected craftsmen that people count on.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I've worked hard enough to have respect. That means a lot to me.
That means a great deal for me to have the respect of my peers, and to have the respect of people that I respect that's satisfying.
Yes,
and that's what I have to. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but what I have to let go of is. Of looking at focus of what to let go of rather than what I'm moving towards. That's what I got to let go of, because I always look at what's wrong and try and fix it rather than where do I want to go?
Yeah.
And I find that when I do that, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a little more. It's easier to gather momentum if you look at where you want to go rather than what's wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's positive energy and not negative energy. You always want to work with the positive. And I think in our careers, it's an unusual career in the sense that we're hyphenates. You know, you're a host, you're an actor, you're a comedian. You do corporate dates, you do club dates. It's like, and so you are forced to make career decisions constantly. Most people, they put a resume together, they get a job. Sometimes they have that job for 10 years.
Yeah.
We are going for 3 different jobs every single day, and we're having to decide where to put the energy because you can't do it all. I can't write a spec script and do somebody else's podcast and fly to St. Louis and to see the Cardinals. So you have to suddenly really stop and go, all right, I have finite energy and finite time. Which are the right things to do?
What at this point on the road that you're on, what is the priorities for making that choice?
Money is important right now. After this pandemic, I'm not going to lie to you. I got to make some money.
Yeah, okay.
Because I didn't make a lot in the last couple of years. So
Hey, listen, turn that thing off. I got a guy.
Yeah.
All I need you to do is sit in the car and wear this hat. Just nod. If anybody asks, your name is Izzy. All right? That's all I need you to do.
Put this in your pocket. Pretend it's a gun.
There you go.
So I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do right now. Things that I would have said no to, I'm saying yes to.
Right.
And I know that that's not forever. That's for a little bit. But I think I want to... My priority, I think, is autonomy.
Okay.
And I think that podcasting and stand-up give me the autonomy to not worry about he's a straight white guy in this climate now in Hollywood where there's much more diversity, hiring, less opportunities. Podcasting and stand-up are not affected by that at all.
Yeah.
Literally, if you can draw a crowd and you can make them laugh, you're going to work.
Yeah.
If you can get people to download your podcast and listen, you're going to sell ads, and you can do that forever. So I'm putting much more on that than I used to put more in writing a spec script, staying on my agent to get a writing job. I mean, the truth is, writing staffs are smaller. There's maybe 5 or 6 people on a staff. 5 of those 6 people are people of color or women. And I am not sitting here complaining. Please do not confuse that. That is just the reality of what it is. I had my fucking time writing on shows.
Yeah.
But getting that one open seat on each staff is really fucking tough right now. So I just go, well, that's not a tree I need to bark up right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I make decisions now, and again, it's always paying the bills. It's because I have a scarcity mentality.
Yeah.
I grew up that way.
Did you grow up poor?
I grew up with my father, who was. I emulate my dad because he was my hero and he was my example of what the man of the house is.
Yeah.
Work like a dog, take care of your family. So family's first.
Right.
You'll eat when everyone else is fed. That's
Right.
that's just in my head.
Yeah.
But the anxiety of I never wanted for anything. You know, I didn't realize how lucky we were till I saw kids that didn't have, and it wasn't lost on me.
Right.
But the constant worry and the anxiety of this is going to go away, keep worrying, you know, and my grandparents were depression. They grew up in the depression, so I think that was passed on. Look, you could trace this all, but I don't need DNA. I come
Well, how
from
many
a bunch
generations ago did they come over from Italy?
My grandmother, my mother's side is, I think my great grandmother came over my mother's side, so that would make my mother first generation. That would make me what, second
generation?
Yeah. My father's family was here for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I'm not doing the DNA testing. Greg, Italians aren't giving up DNA without a court order.
Exactly. Don't put yourself on that grid. Suddenly,
I'm not getting it.
Hi, Dad.
Get
what?
Not
Who
even
are you?
That. Yeah. I was a long lost relative. You stay lost.
Yeah, right.
There's no money here for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. How do you spit in a cup and someone?
Well, they give you a vial and you spit in it. I jerked off in it because I wanted the exact, precise.
Sure, that's the reason.
And I had some time to kill.
I had some time to kill, and I wanted to work on my aim. Good for you.
First shot. Got it in. That's how they knew I was really Irish. We get that shit in, man. Every load turns into a child when you're Irish.
This is my firstborn. His name is 80 proof.
This is my second born. His name is Makeup Sex.
Yeah. So I would choose things right now, and this is what I'm working on, is, again, to get out of that outcome, to get out of that future event, is to enjoy what I'm doing. It's like, that's why I like the podcast. We were talking last night when we were shooting pool, and one of the things that I agree with you is there's no barrier to entry in podcasting and our stand-up.
Yeah.
We make it, bring it down to the marketplace, people buy it. You know, I don't need Josh to nod his head in a meeting, you know, to sell something. And I'm enjoying the whole process. And I recently just found, after finishing the interviews, I got a buzz after like almost doing a set. You know, it's almost the same energy because I prepare and I do this and I want to have a good experience with my guests. And I was telling you last night, I just had Stevie Van Zandt.
Oh, yeah.
I spoke to him yesterday, and we had a great time. I made him laugh.
Yeah.
He's telling stories.
Amazing.
His book was great.
Yeah.
And it just went on. It was like one of those great conversations, and I'm still buzzing about it.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done that, you know, without this medium.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know him. We know some of the same people, and it was nice he wanted to do my show, but that was great. This provides us an opportunity to reach out to people we want to talk to.
Sure.
Nathan Lane did my show. He was a hero. I told you last night, I changed my shirt twice before the interview. My wife was laughing at me.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
She's like this, he's married. I said, that.
Yeah, it's no.
So this brings me a lot of pleasure.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
Yeah, I think there's things that I do in my career that drain my energy, and there's things that build my energy. And I do always feel good after a podcast. I don't like booking them. That's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
that's the work. That's the only part of it that's work is the booking.
The hustling. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then stand up is the same thing because it gives me energy when I'm writing. If I don't have new shit, sometimes it saps my energy. When I do a show on the road and I get off stage and I realize like, none of those bits have been added to the act in the last 3 months. That was all. Then I feel like a kind of a whore,
right?
And I don't feel like an artist. And so when I write, even if it's 3, 4, 5 new minutes in an hour-long set, I walk off stage and those are the 3 minutes I'm thinking about. And
that's what we were talking before we turned the mics on. I'm a better comic and more fulfilled in New York because I can go down. I do 5 sets a night in New York.
Yeah.
I went back to the cellar last month. I was in New York and I just boom, I wrote 3 new bits because you're in that energy. You're in. You know, you got to bring your fastball at the cellar.
And you're around comics that you respect that are in the back of the room that you want to impress. Yeah. They're your peers. Yeah. And in L.A., there are good comics, but not the level of New York comics.
Yeah, and there's not, but most of the comics that are here didn't start here. So
right.
There's
a lot of New Yorkers.
Yeah, it's from somebody else. And it's not the same environment I found. Yeah. You know, but just what I'm grateful for is even after all these years that we've been in country, my friend, we still get excited over the same things. You got a new toy. Right. You write a new bit. Right. You know what I do on the road? Sometimes if I get that, because I get that same feeling like, oh, I can't. I'll do the set backwards or I'll mix it up. Yeah. You know, just because now I got to get from here to here and make it look seamless. Yeah. You know, and that always I always get a bit out of something. Because you shake it up and. Yeah, just to. It's usually the opening line is always the same because it's comfortable and I want to get in. I'll throw it away. Yeah. And I'll say, I can't open with that bit. I'll make a rule. I won't pick the bit I'm going to open with, but I'll go up there with that. I never know what I'm going to open with. Really? Never, ever. I walk on stage and I try to make myself available to whatever is going on in the room. And but then there's nights where I'm like, man, you just went 3 minutes without a laugh. That's not a good way to start a set. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. But people always say, like, which show should I come to? And I always say Friday Night Late Show because that's the one where there's drunks and I'm going to do a lot of crowd work and it's going to be, it may not be the best show of the weekend, but it'll be the most compelling show of the weekend. Yeah. 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 A Friday Late Show is, I always make a deal with myself. I'm not going to judge this set and I'm not going to work on anything new because I don't want to poison anything. Right. But it never works. I always end up throwing new stuff in there because I got an audience. Yeah. Like if I get a laugh, I'll jump into a with no segue into something just to see if it works because I'm excited to do it. Please do. And don't tell anybody this. All right, turn off the thing. I have this new bit that I'm really excited about because it's like a big chunk. It's a big long bit.
And so I was telling my friend about it. I was playing golf this morning, and I told my friend about it. And he pauses, and he looks kind of uncomfortable, and he goes, dude, that was... He goes, Sam Brown has a joke exactly like that. And I was like, no fucking way. I go, is he still in New York? He goes, no, he died. And I was like, yes. And I liked Sam Brown. That's the worst part. I really liked him. He was a nice guy, and I'm sad that he's gone. And I'll send flowers to somebody, but I'm so relieved I get to keep doing this bit.
That's funny.
Do you remember Sam Brown?
Yeah, you're a fucking comic. You're a fucking comic,
Dude, the bit is so good. It's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, you get those things that you're proud of. You get those things. I got stuff that doesn't work that I still love.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've pounded out bits for years sometimes with them working, not working, and then you just go, "Why?" If I was sane, I would just drop this, and then all of a sudden it breaks. Like this bit I'm excited about. Mm-hmm. I worked on this bit since the pandemic started,
right?
Because it's about the pandemic,
right?
And it just started working because I realized I wasn't setting it up enough. I was giving the audience too much credit on understanding what I was doing in the bit.
Yeah, that's the one thing about going back to the cellar after being on the road. I think I might have mentioned to you last night. Writing material on the road is like buying cocaine. Then you bring it back to the cellar and you boil it all off and you make crack.
Right.
So if you write 2 new minutes on the road, that works. A lot of fat in that thing.
Like
you come back and you get 30, 45 seconds of that's what the joke is.
Right.
And that helps distill everything. And that's how you become, for me, you become a hammer.
Yeah.
Because you don't need all the other stuff. You don't need the handles.
And you're doing 5 sets a night, so you're noticing the little, it's like going to the driving range. Instead of hitting a ball and then walking for 10 minutes and then hitting it again, you're hitting another one 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
So you're very aware of the nuances of what you did with the joke that were different than last time and what worked and what didn't. And at the end of the night, you've been at the range.
Yeah, it's comic muscle memory.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate when jokes go away. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they go away.
It's like you're a heroin addict and you hit that one vein too many times and now you can't get in it anymore.
Yeah, and
the
it's
joke
like
just falls flat and you're like, I don't understand.
Yeah, they're like fruit. They go bad.
Yeah, they go bad, and sometimes they go bad, and you throw them out, and then 8 years later, I said you're riffing with the crowd, and the topic comes up that bit was about, and you throw it in, and it came back to life again.
Yeah. In a different. Well, I think because
it's a different joke. You've changed the wording, but you've found a fresh way into it again. I
think it's because you're not, again, future satisfaction in a future event. There's an old story in the theater that my acting coach told me. He's like, I used to get it was a scene, and the actor used to always get a laugh when he would ask the other actor in the scene for the tea. Can you pass the tea? And that got a laugh, and it started going away.
Yeah.
And the actor goes up to the director and he goes, I don't know why the laugh isn't working. He says, my dear boy, it's because you're asking for the laugh. You're not asking for the tea. So you're connected to the outcome of it.
Right.
So you're not in the moment that made the joke work for the first time.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, you start to find because the thing is about comedy is you are finding the joke. You have a mass of words. You don't know the rhythm of it yet. You don't know the words you're going to land on. You don't know the words you're going to throw away. And that's what you learn through doing it again and again and again and again, is it starts to gel and take shape, and then you've got a bit. But then once you've figured out the rhythm of the joke, you get married to the rhythm and you forget about the spirit of the joke.
Yeah, being present in the joke.
Yeah.
And you're doing the delivery to get the laugh. And sometimes that's why moving shit around in the act is helpful, because now I'm not in the same moment before heading to the next same moment after.
It's like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Remember when he's auditioning and now he's trying out to be a guard for the guy, and he goes, all right, well, I'm going to throw this can in the air and you shoot it and we'll see if you can shoot. Throws it in the air, he shoots the gun a couple times, doesn't hit the can. He goes, no, you can't get the job. He goes, can I move this time? And he goes, yeah. So he throws the can in the air, and then Robert Redford rolls on the ground and shoots while he's rolling, and he hits it like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah. I bang up my shoulder on Top Gear, and we still got a bunch of episodes to shoot.
How'd you bang up your shoulder?
I rolled a truck.
Did you really?
Oh, you kidding? I jumped a caddy 40 feet in the air, rolled a truck.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Look up Flying Coupe de Ville. You see me flying a yeah.
They let you do that? The insurance let you do that?
They let me. I didn't know I was going to do it. They didn't know I was going to do it. I was on a track. It was our first season.
Cable, right?
Yeah. And everyone would say, like, hey, was that you or a stuntman? I'm like, we didn't have a budget for lunch.
Yeah.
We could pay a fucking stuntman?
Yeah.
So I was.
Wow.
It was a 76 Coupe de Ville.
Nice.
Right, and we were doing a moonshine episode, so we were tracing the NASCAR came from moonshine. So we're on this dirt bike track, and I'm in this big old Cadillac, and I got moonshine in the trunk, and we got to go over these stuff and evade the police. So there's a water trap. I got bald tires, and this thing weighs 5,000 pounds. So I know if I don't have any momentum going through this water, I'm going to stall.
Yeah.
And there's a big incline where the jump happens for the motocross kids. So I go up. I almost roll it. I go up on this one hill. I back down because I felt the thing going over. I nailed it through the water. I come out of the water and I'm still in the throttle, and this thing just goes whoop, and I'm 40 feet up in the air.
And now you got moonshine in the trunk, so it's weighing down the back of the car?
They all broke they broke in the first turn. I smashed into I hear it. There's all this violence and destruction. Then I'm up in the air. This car is flying up in the air, and Craig, it got real quiet for a long time.
Wow.
And we're shooting in North Carolina. And off in the distance, as time stops and I'm in the air and all I hear is the rushing of the wind, in the faint distance I hear, yeah! Boom! I hit the ground. It's a banana. I bananaed the whole front of the car.
Really?
Yeah. And I got out.
Did you have on extra seatbelts and stuff? Or just
No, it was. I had an $8 motocross helmet. And they took this, Tanner Faust, who's a stunt driver, took the headrest, pulled the shoulder strap back on the seatbelt, put it under the headrest, slammed the headrest down, and said, "You'll be fine."
Wow.
That was, so, we got all banged.
And that's when you smashed your shoulder?
No, that one didn't get that. But we were all banged up on that show. Tanner wrenched his neck coming down a mountain in an Evo, a Mitsubishi Evo.
Uh-huh.
Rut got our third or fourth episode, Rut went to the super lights, the truck races in Arizona, and there's a thing called the whoops. It's like bumps.
Whoopty-doos, yeah.
Whoops. So you got to keep, if you're in the throttle, it's staying. If you lift off the throttle, it'll flip the truck, and we found that out the hard way. Yeah. So he endoed it during the practice.
End over end.
End over end 3 times. Screwed up he had a screwed up back to begin, but he's really banged up.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, we did this for years. We did this. Bangers. We made RV campers.
Yeah.
So my theory was I want to bring a little piece of home with me on the road. So I put the Flatiron building on a 72 Buick.
Great.
Yeah. So it's a convertible Centurion. So I got it down, and you crawl up the ladder, and there's looks like a big piece of cheese.
Yeah.
The Flatiron building.
If you don't know the Flatiron building, it's like a triangle.
Yeah, it's like a triangle. So the end of the episode is we're racing our RVs against race car drivers in RVs.
Hilarious.
So they pit maneuvered me with a Winnebago, and this big thing is going
What's a pit maneuver?
Is when you come up, if a car is going straight, the cops will come up behind it, and they will put the front of your car and make a turn, and they would pit maneuver you this way to spin the car out.
Push the back of your car out.
And then the car will spin around. It's called a pit maneuver. You see it on the slope.
Knowing that it's going to flip.
It's not going to flip, but that's going to spin the car out and stop it.
But on a camper? Doesn't that make a camper just fall over?
The one I made, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm flipped, but again, slow motion because there's all the weights on top, so the balance point of this thing is all screwed up.
Right.
As I'm going over, I'm looking down, I go, oh, that looks welded. I'll put my arm there to help brace myself. Yeah, we did shit like that all the time.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to buy, I'm going to say 87, I could be wrong, 87 Alfa Romero. Little 2-seater, the graduate car, a little 2-seater, but it's got a 45-degree angle long throw shifter that I just loved. It was certain cars you just connect with. You can rev match, which means you can shift without the clutch, and it's just so it's really, really nice. So I just connected with that guy. I said, I'm going to buy this. We do a drag race. Tanner wrecks it. He just comes in, bang.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there goes plan A.
Jesus Christ.
But we beat the shit out of each other all the time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And did you? And
so the reason I was telling you the story is, so I got a busted shoulder, right? I got a banged up shoulder. I dislocated the AC joint. So I can't drive, but we still got a couple of episodes to shoot. So the gag was, we find the oldest stunt driver we can to drive for me in Florida. Turns out it's a guy named Mickey, who's a stunt driver, who did the jump at the end of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Really?
He was one of those guys that jumped, and he told me the story. George Roy Hill.
You mean like jumped off the cliff into the water?
That's it, yeah. Hell, the fall will kill you. Yeah, he was one of those guys.
You know, they shot that here in California.
Yeah, you know why? Because they were going to shoot it on location.
Yeah.
Right? So Mickey goes up with George Roy Hill, the director, and Mickey says, the way he tells the story, George is afraid of heights, so he's not going out to the edge.
Yeah.
So he goes, you go look and see if you can do it. He goes, I can't do it. He's like, why? He finally pulls him out. He goes, you see those white things down there? Those are rocks.
Yeah.
We can't do it. So what he told me they did was they went to the studio. They had an artist paint the glass, because this is the 70s, paint the glass to look like the actual place where they jumped.
Right.
And he jumped into a tank.
Wow.
So he jumped into a tank. He said it was 100, whatever, 150 feet, whatever it was. He jumped into the tank. Cut. George Roy Hill said, that was great. I need another one. And Mickey's like, I got to charge you. Nice. And then Mickey, and he goes, I understand. It's like, and I asked him, I said, so what'd you do? Mickey goes, I jumped again. I put my kid through school.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So how old was he when he did it?
I don't know when he did the jump, but he was...
when he did the thing for you.
Oh, for me, he was an older dude. He was
like 70s?
Yeah, he was... I didn't ask him, but he's been around the block a couple times.
Jesus. So what car do you drive now?
Now I got that. I got an 08 E350. It's just a Mercedes,
the
E-Class. It's nice, good on gas. I got a 1990 LS 400. The first year Lexus came out with it.
Oh yeah.
Built like a tank. This thing. The only thing you got to do is at 98,000, you got to change the timing belt, which I did. Yeah. So I did. The guy did it.
Yeah.
He said, pull a radiator, a little water pump, you put it in there. That thing will run forever because Toyota built it like a tank. So I took it, I murdered it all out, which means it's all blacked out.
Yeah.
I took the lights out of the front of it. I put Euro lights in so there's no amber lights on it. I dropped it, and I smoked the windows, and I drive around like the Yakuza.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I drive a fucking Prius. I'm dead inside.
I'm telling you, I want the Mach-E. I want the Mustang rear-wheel drive Mach-E.
That's what I want so bad.
Because gas here in California is over $5 a fucking gallon. And it's just pissing me off.
That car is sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, if I got to get an electric car.
What does that go for these days?
40, 50?
That's it?
I don't know. We got to Google.
I bet it's more than that.
Yeah, 50, 60, whatever it is. I don't know.
I mean, ever since when I was a kid, I had a choice. I worked really hard. I was a caddy.
Yeah.
And then I used to wash cars. I used to fucking rake leaves. I used to shovel driveways. And I saved. I was a fucking saver. My parents put that in me.
Yeah.
And then I had enough money when I was 16 to buy a car. And I had a choice to either get a Volkswagen Rabbit from my friend's father that was very dependable, that was conservative, or I knew this janitor and he had a 68 Fastback Mustang, which was pinstriped and mag-wheeled, and I was like, this thing's been stepped on.
Yeah.
And I bought the Rabbit, and I regret it to this day.
Really?
I've never had a muscle car. I've always wanted. I had a '69 Bel Air, which was a pretty cool old car.
Okay.
But I never had the muscle car, and I've had a lot of Volkswagens.
I want the one you like is the '68 390 Fastback. That's the bullet car. That's the Steve McQueen car. That's the one I like. I like that one. I like the '68 Charger with the round taillights.
Right.
Yeah, that one's really nice. I mean, there's so many. A '59 Impala cat eye taillight with the flat fins and the cat eye taillights on it.
Have you ever had a muscle car?
No, I never. I had my fun car I bought from Top Gear was a '70 Deuce and a Quarter. It was an old Buick.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that thing was fun. It was a 455 in it.
Damn.
And
That's not a muscle car?
Nah, it's a pimp mobile.
Yeah.
It's an old Buick, but it's I dropped that one too. Dropped the suspension. I painted it black cherry metallic. I split the exhaust, so I got 2.5-inch pipes coming out of the manifold, and there's no catalytic converter on it, so it. I smoked out the windows and I drove around.
Is that back? Was there regular gas back then, or is it you just used?
Oh, it's still running a letter, but yeah, it was all regular gas. Here's the thing: when it would diesel, you turn it off and it still run. You'd have to turn it off in neutral because then the dieseling would stop, and then you put it back in gear.
Wow.
Yeah, but I had that for a while, That car you can sell in 20 minutes. You go down to Dodger Stadium. You sell it to a gangbanger, and they pay you cash, and in 20 minutes, that thing is on the ground, and they airbrush the Virgin Mary on the hood. Gone.
And there's a runaway in the back seat.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your special, because that's it's very exciting. These days, here's the thing about specials is it ain't the old model anymore. It used to be you try to get a half hour on Comedy Central, which I know you did, and then you try to get an hour on Netflix, and you do all that stuff. And now it's like, starting with guys like, Louie did it first, and then Sam Morril and Mark Norman and all these guys, they're putting specials on YouTube. They're getting tons of views.
That's why
it's beefing up everybody's road work, and it's great.
I had Sam and Mark on my show.
Okay.
And asked them about it, and they said, this is what, again,
this is how you do it.
Barrier to entry.
Right.
So I recorded my album at Gotham in New York, and they shot it. They had 4 cameras, and they shot it. And thank God, great, the album did well. Debuted at #1 on iTunes. It went really well. And they said, listen, we have we want to cut it into a special. I said, okay, but put extra stuff in there, because I don't want to just repurpose the video. I want, if someone's coming to see me, I want something new every time. The store's open, we got new things. Come on down. I'll put it in the circular. Here's a coupon. So I made sure there's a bunch of new stuff in there, and it's they sent it to me. I went, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. Who knew I had this? Right. So, so it's going to be on YouTube on the, I don't know when this airs, but it's going to be November 23rd, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
That will be the day this comes out.
Yeah, okay. So today you can get it on YouTube, 800 Pound Gorilla Records on YouTube.
Great company. They've worked with a lot of the top comics in the business. And
and they're really good. They know their stuff. So it's going to be on there, and you can watch it with your family, or you could watch it to get away from your family. I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, Adam is a dirty man, but a clean comic. That's the weird thing about you. I think I'm the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm a...
you're filthy.
No, I'm filthy.
On all fronts.
I am filthy.
You're just dirty.
I don't drink, so I always think that makes me better than other people, but it's not.
Now, when you're asked to leave the orgy...
We weren't asked to leave. We left.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We left on our own.
I understand.
Ron Jeremy didn't start fucking waving his hand. All right, listen, Adam Ferrara, the other thing you want to do is check out his podcast, who he mentioned a couple of the guests.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
But it's called 30 Minutes You'll Never Get Back.
Yep.
And it is available everywhere, iTunes, Spotify.
Yep, wherever you get your podcast.
Wherever you get your podcast, check that out. It was listed as a must-listen by Hidden Remote, which is really the high watermark for podcasts.
Well, Greg, listen to the Greg Fitzsimmons episode.
That's right.
You have to come back on.
All right.
It's been over a long time since we chatted.
Yes, let's do it, and let's play some pool again soon.
I'm in, baby.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
Good to see you, brother.
God bless.